Welcome back. My name is John Fedro with mobilehomeinvesting.net. If you are a mobile home investor or newer mobile home investor and you are thinking to yourself, I am just going to wholesale mobile homes and that's how I'm going to make my money, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. Anyone that just wholesales is leaving a lot of money on the table, and I'm going to say is only wholesaling because they don't know how to invest in real estate themselves. We make a lot more money investing than we do wholesaling, but wholesaling has its distinct purpose. I mean, wholesaling is, there's a need for sure, and we're going to talk about when and where that comes in. But I want to educate you, the person listening to my voice right now. Let's take a big step back real quick and talk about wholesaling. That is you being a personal property realtor of sorts, where you're not actually buying the home and then reselling it. And we can typically make the most money when we buy the home, we get the seller out of the picture, and we resell it. But when you're wholesaling, I'm going to put wholesaling like this, it's very similar to being like a personal property realtor. You are the middle person between the seller and the buyer, and you're finding the buyer and you're using the buyer's money that's going to pay the seller. It's also going to pay you as well, your fee or your commission or the amount that you're supposed to be making, a few $1,000s or more that you're making. Also a mobile home broker. That's another way to say this. You know, you're kind of doing the same things. And then also what we call a consignment. Those are all very similar, it's the same, it's not the same process, but it's a similar process where you're not buying the home, you are getting some agreement written up so that you can then legally sell the home and make a profit there in between. So priority number one, typically, we are in this business as mobile home investors to help other people, to build a business, to make money, and be able to, compound that into more deals, make more money, save up more money, make more money, reinvest it into more profits, make more money, but help people along the way, have a good reputation, have a long-term business. And so priority number one, typically as investors, when we're looking at different deals, is to get the deed, is to get the title. If you can get the title from the seller by a low price, or they're giving the home away, or however it is, if you can get the title, we want to get the title. As investors, even if you're a wholesaler, you're an investor. And as an investor, you should want to get the deed or the title. Like I said, you can control the home, you can make more profit with it, and you're in full control. Why wouldn't you want to get the title? Well, obviously, because you couldn't make a deal. Maybe the seller's asking a price that's too high and you're not able to talk them down in price. They just want too much for their home. But, it's retail. They may want above retail. They may want retail. They may want a little bit below retail. But that's still too much for us. We need to get like way below retail and then we'll buy it. But we're not going to buy it close to retail. So they just want too much money. The home has to be moved too quickly. If it's a mobile home, it has to be moved. It's too risky. It's too old for some reason. Well, not for some reason, but it's too risky for some reason. The park manager is too strict. Either the park manager is too strict, the park is too strict, the manager is odd for some reason, and we don't want to buy the home for that reason. Or we couldn't agree to win-win terms with the seller. So if you're not able to buy the home yourself, and by the way, you're saying, John, I couldn't buy it anyway. I don't have any money to buy it. Well, first of all, there's homes that are cheap. That's one of the reasons I love mobile homes so much is because it allows us to get into this business with little capital. A few $1,000s really gets your foot into the door to buy mobile homes, either with all cash or with owner financing. And so if you say you don't have any money, well, you can use whatever cash you have, $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 if you have it. You can use other people's money, private money, friends, family members, money that you borrow. You can also try to owner finance from the seller. You structure payments with the seller, pay them more money for the home, but give it to them in payments. And then also, you can use credit cards. I'm not a big fan of credit cards, but if you do borrow from credit cards, when you make a quick profit, pay all that back. So if you don't want to get the deed or you can't get the deed or the title, then we are going to rip this paper. Then we're going to go ahead and help the seller and make money ethically. And that's where the wholesaling comes in. Because if you cannot buy the home first and control it fully, or you don't want to, then we're still going to make money ethically. We're still going to help the seller. And do not, this is a disclaimer. If you've been doing real estate for a long time, then I know I've been doing real estate for a long time, and the people that I talk to that are investors that have been doing this for a long time, there's newer investors that we see that mislead sellers. And I don't want you to be that newbie investor that misleads sellers. Please don't mislead a seller. They are vulnerable. They're looking for us for help. Only set correct expectations with the seller. Be honest with them. Be truthful. If you're still brand new in this business, you can still be honest. Don't mislead a seller, and only go under contract if you really believe in the ability to find a buyer or to close the deal yourself. We're investors. We want to help people. We want to have a good reputation. We want to have a good reputation for investors, as well. We don't want to be the reason why everyone thinks investors are these scummy people. And so we can help people, we can do things ethically and legally. Try to get the title at first. If you can't or you don't want to, then of course, wholesale, but be ethical about it. You can make money, the seller can make money, the buyer, everyone can be happy, but be ethical about it. If you have any questions, comment them below. Or email me directly at john@mobilehomeinvesting.net. That's john@mobilehomeinvesting.net.